In September 2025, Bob and I set out on our second Camino Francés with a goal of taking more time, averaging just over 10 miles a day. In this video, we'll cover another stretch of the Meseta, the long, open walk from Castrojeriz to Sahagún. Sahagún is a major Camino milestone. It marks the geographic center of the Camino Francés, and when we passed through the statues there, we were officially halfway done. Somehow it felt like we had been walking forever, and at the same time like we had just begun. Not all guidebooks consider Sahagún as a traditional overnight stop. We followed the Brierley stages on days 20 through 23. Traditional Camino is 4 days. We took 4 days. This meant longer walking days, some of the longest on our Camino. Our day 20 walk from Castrojeriz to Boadilla del Camino was 19.6 kilometers or 12.2 miles. This is an epic day on the Camino. We left Castrojeriz before sunrise and headed straight up Alto de Mostelares, the steep hill that greets you first thing in the morning. Our goal was to reach the top by sunrise, and we made it with minutes to spare. The climb took about half an hour, and from the top we soaked in another spectacular Camino sunrise. From there, the trail crosses a high, flat plateau before dropping into a sweeping valley of golden wheat fields. It's one of the most beautiful Meseta views with nothing but open land stretching ahead. Just before the ascent out of the valley, there's a shaded pilgrim rest area with picnic tables, and luckily for us, a food truck serving hot coffee, a perfect spot for a rest. As we approached Itero de Castillo, we could see the line of trees tracing the Pisuerga River. Before crossing the bridge, we made a quick stop at the Ermita de San Nicolas, a 13th century Romanesque hermitage founded by the Knights of St. John of Jerusalem. It once cared for pilgrims crossing the river. After falling into ruin, it was restored in the 1990s by an Italian confraternity and now operates each summer as a traditional albergue where volunteers wash pilgrims' feet and serve communal dinners. It's a special place on the Camino. After crossing the bridge, we officially entered the province of Palencia. Although most of the Meseta is dry farmland, around Itero de Castillo you start to see irrigated fields fed by canals from the Pisuerga River. The landscape becomes greener, a surprising change from the days of harvested wheat. We stopped for café con leche, and because we were on a traditional stage schedule, the café was packed with pilgrims. Just outside town, we spotted a Guardia Civil van. They quietly patrol rural stretches of the Camino, checking on pilgrims, helping in emergencies, and keeping the route safe. Their presence is reassuring, and a van often means a chance for a unique Camino stamp, which was the case here. The final walk to Boadilla del Camino took us through more flat wheat fields. Boadilla is a small, quiet village with a relaxed pilgrim vibe. We checked into our hotel, grabbed a late lunch, and got some rest. The Hotel Rural in El Camino, where we stayed, also runs a beautiful albergue, and dinner that night was a cozy communal meal with a delicious lentil soup, a nod to the lentils grown throughout Castilla. The walk from Boadilla del Camino to Carrión de los Condes is 24.4 kilometers or 15.2 miles, one of our longest days of the entire Camino. Again, we left before sunrise. Just outside town, we passed the Column of Justice, a Renaissance stone pillar once used as a symbol of authority and public order. We reached the Canal de Castilla just as first light hit the water. This canal is an impressive 18th century engineering feat built to transport grain from the Tierra de Campos. The Camino follows its towpath for several kilometers, a peaceful stretch where only pilgrims are allowed to walk. It feels magical at sunrise with the mist rising over the water. A small tourist ferry operates along the canal, boarding at the restored lockkeeper's house. Pilgrims with credentials can ride for free, though you do need to reserve ahead. I'll leave a link in the description. At the end of the canal, we crossed the stone locks of Frómista, an elaborate system once used to raise and lower grain barges. They're beautifully preserved and mark the transition into town. We stopped for a snack and then headed to St. Martin de Tours, one of the finest Romanesque churches in Spain. Built in the 11th century, it's known for its perfect symmetry, twin cylindrical towers, and carved corbels. Some of those corbels originally featured mischievous or suggestive medieval imagery. The spicier ones were removed during restoration, but it's still worth walking all the way around to admire the faces, animals, and mythical creatures that remain. And later on the Camino, you'll find a church that proudly kept its naughty bits on display. We'll get to that in a few days. Leaving Frómista, the Camino follows the highway through more farmland. There's an alternate river route, but we stayed on the traditional path. We took a quick break in Revenga de Campos and visited the beautiful Iglesia San Lorenzo. Then we continued to Via Casar de Serga, home to the impressive Santa Maria la Blanca, a 13th century Templar church with a fortress-like facade and a stunning Gothic interior. From Vialcazar, it's 5.6 kilometers, or about 3.5 miles, to Carrión de los Condes, our home for the night. Once a major monastic center, Carrión blends its deep medieval roots with a lively, modern pilgrim atmosphere. We stayed at the Hotel Real Monasterio de San Zoyo, a beautifully restored monastery with cloisters, stone corridors, and a small museum showcasing centuries of carvings and artifacts. At the hotel bar, we enjoyed a Spanish vermouth, aromatic, slightly sweet, served over ice with an orange slice. A nice end to a long day. The day 22 walk from Carrión de los Condes to Calzadilla de la Cueza is 17.2 kilometers, or 10.7 miles. Day 22 was the famous long stretch of the Meseta with no services. No cafes, no bathrooms, no shops, just open Meseta for over 10 miles. You'll often find food trucks along the way, but they are not guaranteed. The walk begins with a tree-lined path that quickly gives way to endless wheat fields. Some pilgrims dread this section, but with my grandfather being a wheat farmer, I think there's something beautiful about miles and miles of golden grain, or in our case in September, miles and miles of harvested fields. After about 3 kilometers of walking, we found a food truck and stopped for café con leche and a Napolitano. A short while later, the Camino joins the Via Aquitania, the ancient Roman road that once connected Bordeaux and Astorga. Walking this long, straight line gives you a sense of the Camino's history. We took another break a couple miles later at the third food truck along the way. Then again at a shaded pilgrim rest area. From there, it was another 3.7 kilometers, or about 2.3 miles, slightly uphill to Calzadilla de la Cueza. Like Hontanas, Calzadilla appears suddenly at the foot of a hill. With fewer than 60 residents, it's tiny but well equipped for pilgrims with an albergue, a small hotel, a bar restaurant, and a shop. After checking in, we enjoyed a glass of wine on a warm Meseta afternoon. Day 23 took us 22.1 kilometers, or 13.7 miles, from Calzadilla de la Cueza to Sahagún. We started early to beat the heat and caught another beautiful Camino sunrise. The walk to Ladigos is gentle farmland with big views and just a small rise before town. Ladigos once had a medieval pilgrim hospital and still has a quiet rural charm. A couple more miles brought us to Terradillos de los Templarios, former temple land. The village is sometimes linked to the legend of the goose that laid the golden egg, since the goose was a Templar symbol and appears in the medieval Game of the Goose. While there's no specific spot for the legend, Terradillos definitely keeps that Templar mystique alive. From Terradillos, it's a short, easy walk to Moratinos, famous for its hillside bodegas, underground wine cellars built into the earth like tiny hobbit homes. They once stored wine and food and give the village a storybook feel. Past Moratinos, the Camino follows the highway again until you enter the province of León and begin the gentle downhill into Sahagún. Just before town, the Camino turns right and crosses a medieval bridge, passing the Ermita de la Virgen del Puente, one of the last remnants of a medieval pilgrim complex. From there, you walk through two modern statues marking the geographic center of the Camino Francés.
Buenos dias. We are at the halfway point of the Camino Francés as measured from St. John, I guess the most popular starting point or the known starting point of the St. Francis. Maybe not. Halfway. What do you think, Lynn?
Love it. I love it. I can't believe it's halfway. I feel like we've been walking forever, and then I feel like we got here real quick.
Yeah. Both things are true. So we're at the tail end of a 20K day, so we're really tired. We'll get some more pictures, but you can see the halfway point marker behind us there. Not a lot of people here. I guess it sure seems like a lot of people skipped this because I don't know where they're at. We saw hundreds of people on the trail yesterday and just, maybe 10 today. It's really strange.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Cold in the morning, warm in the afternoon. Loving it.
Okay, buen camino.
Buen camino.
We stopped for photos, visited one of our favorite Camino murals, and crossed the train tracks into town. Pilgrims can visit Iglesia de la Peregrina to receive a halfway certificate. We didn't get one this time since we already earned ours in 2023, but it's a fun and meaningful milestone for first-time pilgrims. We found our hotel, grabbed pizza for dinner, and called it a day. Thank you for watching our slow Camino. In our next video, we'll cover the walk from Sahagún to León, including our stay in a truck stop and the famous Parador in León. Until then, buen camino.